Jim Hanson, former U.S. Army Special Forces and president of WorldStrat. Jim, the text of the deal, you're going to see it. Do you think there's going to be any surprises?
I love a 1.5-page document for something as important as this. That's beautiful. Now, listen to what he has actually said. The whole point was to make sure they can't have a nuclear weapon. But now everyone's going to focus on all of the minutia. Now, they already have no way to control any of the regional places that they were causing damage before. They have no military to cause people difficulties. They need to stop funding their proxies. That's one thing that's going to come up later. But the bigger issue is he has created a new Middle East. The first trip he took overseas was to see the Saudis, Emiratis, and Qataris and lay this out for them. We're going to neuter Iran. You're going to help. And he also now has added in Turkey. He's got Tom Barrack talking to Erdogan and saying, you're going to control Syria, you're going to help with Iraq, and those are going to provide a counterweight to make sure Iran can't do things either. So everybody is going to do economic deals, everyone's going to do security deals, and they're going to stop letting Iran be the one making the way the entire region reacts be their game. It's now our game.
And he kind of slapped Netanyahu around, if you caught that, with the Lebanon deal. What was that all about?
I think that's tied to Tom Barrack, who's Lebanese, and the idea that we don't want to have to be the policemen over there, and we don't even want the Israelis to have to be the policemen over there. So he's pushing for other regional forces, including Turkey, and now, like I said, including the Gulf states, to push other people around as opposed to being pushed around. And I think that's the big change. There are a lot of carrots offered, but the sticks are still there. And if the Iranians don't play, if they don't stop, then the economic pain comes, and if need be, the real pain comes. And that's all laid out.
JD has kind of emerged over the last couple of weeks as a real voice in getting this deal done. What do you make of that?
I think he all along was the one who was pushing for a deal before a war. It's well known. He was not the biggest fan of military action, but he backs the president because he works for the president. Now that the opportunity to turn all of that successful military activity, and it was immensely successful, into a regional security and economic package is right in his wheelhouse, and he's taken advantage of it. I think it's great to see him be someone who now is finishing the end game of this. Pete Hegseth can't make a deal to do the economic and security arrangements for everyone in the region. J.D. Vance can, and he's doing it.
The more I think about the dust buried so deep and having it been inaccessible to the Iranians, it's almost like we don't even need to go down and get it and remove it. We could just sit up there, watch it from space, and call it a day.
It's an option. I think ideally everyone would like to know it's been destroyed, it's been neutralized, all of that. But the point is, if we have the inspections that this deal will have to include to ensure that Iran is not doing its usual dirty dealing, then it doesn't matter, like you said. If they don't have the ability to rebuild a nuclear program or the access to any of that enriched uranium, who cares? Let it, sink back into the earth and become, a problem for someone 1,000 years from now.
When you see Trump over there with the G7, these guys didn't help. They couldn't help. They wouldn't help. He's going over there and saying, yeah, it'll be over Friday. Here's your oil. We didn't need it, but here it is. What kind of power is that?
There is an awful lot of ring kissing going on, isn't there? Ring and other places. No, it's fun to watch, okay? They wanted to talk smack. They wanted to say, oh, this is going poorly. It's horrible. America lost to Iran. That was always such a joke. Everybody else follows our lead, and they don't have to like it, and they don't like it. But nobody can get things done like the United States of America. And if you have a president like Donald Trump willing to take the huge political risk he did to do this, and now seeing the fruits of that come true, okay, they're going to get in line, and they're going to say, well, yeah, we'd like to get on board the Trump train now. And sure, get on board. You're just going to start from the back.
All right, and cap it off with a beautiful dinner at Versailles. What a life. Jim, great to talk to you as always. Thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.